Hi everyone, Sarah here from Sarah Homfray Embroidery. Welcome to another Tuesday chit chat. And in this one, we are going to have a little look at online collections. So where you can look at beautiful embroidery, all from the comfort of your own home, wherever you are in the world. Just before we get into that and talking about wherever you are in the world, I just want to draw your attention to our Stitching Around the World for World Embroidery video that went up last Friday. So we are now collecting videos for this year's Stitching Around the World for World Embroidery Day, which is at the end of July, Wednesday the 30th of July. So we are now collecting videos for that. So we do hope that you will join in. It's the point of the year where we turn the channel over to you and you send us a video of what you're making and we will have a look at what you're making and we put all of those videos together and we have this wonderful collaboration of stitching from around the world. So I do hope you'll join in with that. Do check out that video. I'll put it up at the end of this one if you've not seen it yet, and get making your videos and get sending them in to us, and we'll make this amazing video of all your embroideries. So in last week's chit chat we had a little look at a museum visit that I went on. So my local museum has got a new collection of birds that they have got on display, and I went there and I drew some of the birds, and the video is about how you can use these objects to inform your embroidery design. So I drew the birds and then I turned them into design, and maybe I'll turn them into an embroidery as well in the future. So I kind of wanted to show you that process, but I appreciate not everybody can get out, not everybody has a museum nearby to go to. So we talked in that video about looking at online collections and where you can see collections online and you can look from the comfort of your own home. So I said I would do a video on that. So that is this one. I've picked out some that I know about. They are UK based. That doesn't matter because you can look wherever you are in the world. But if you are somewhere else in the world and you know of an online collection that you think we should know about, then we'll do the same as we did for the books. You can let me know and I'll compile a little list of those and I'll put those on the website as well, with the book list, and you can pop along there and you can have a look and see what else there is worthy of looking at. So if you do know of somewhere that I haven't mentioned, please leave a comment below this video with the collection, and I will make a list and I'll add it to that list, and hopefully we'll get this super duper long list of all this amazing embroidery resources. So let's just dive in at number one on my list and let's have a look at the Bayeux Tapestry. Okay, so I'm going to give you the main website for all of these collections rather than a big long string of words that you've got to type in. So I'm just going to give you the website, which will take you to the home page, and then I'll show you how to find the collection from the home page. But I will put all the links in the description below this video as well, so you can go there and just click on those if you want to. So this is the Bayeux Tapestry. I'm sure everybody's heard of that. We've done a couple of videos on it before as well. So this is in France. This is in Normandy in France, and this is their actual website for the Bayeux Tapestry in France. I say the one in France because there is another one. Did you know there was another one? We'll get to that in a second. So if you type in www.bayeuxmuseum.com, you will get the homepage for their website. It will probably appear in French. If you want it in English, you can go to the top left and you can click the little down button and it will give you an English setting if you want to read it in English. And then you'll get three parts of the museum on the right hand side. So the first one is the Bayeux Tapestry Museum. So if you just click anywhere on that column and it jumps up with this beautiful picture of the Bayeux Tapestry. If you have been lucky enough to get to see it, you'll know this image. It goes all the way around the whole room and you walk around the end of it and back down the other because it's too long to fit in one room. So it really is quite spectacular. But if we go to the bottom right of the page there, and it says Discover the Bayeux Tapestry. So there's some information about that. If we just scroll down the screen, it tells you a little bit about the tapestry and what it is about. And then if we go down to Explore Online, the Bayeux Tapestry scene by scene, you can just click Find Out More. And then we're going to scroll down again a little bit more, and then you get to this box here that says Explore Online, the Bayeux Tapestry scene by scene. And we'll just click on that. And then the whole of the Bayeux Tapestry appears in front of you. It's an absolutely amazing resource, this. So they've photographed it all and they've just put the whole entire thing online. So you can have a little look around it, basically. So along the bottom is a sort of chapter point. So there are numbers on the top of the actual Bayeux Tapestry and they correspond at the bottom here. So you will have the first little dot is number 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 5, so that will correspond with the 5 on the tapestry. So you can find your way around that way, or you can literally just take your mouse or your finger, depending on what device you're using, and you can drag this along. So we can move it to the left and we can actually go along the tapestry and see the whole tapestry. It's absolutely amazing. There's no other pages to go to. The whole thing is there and I can just drag it along. If I want a little bit of a closer look, I can zoom in a little bit. So I'm actually doing this on my computer, but it's the same for other devices as well. You can zoom in, either you can pinch if you've got a screen touch device, you can do it that way. There are a plus and a minus in the top left hand corner if you want to do it that way. And you can zoom in quite well on this one. You can get in really close and look at these stitches. You can see the figures and the horses and the buildings and the writing as well. So you can get in really nice and close and have a good look around the actual embroidery. You can see the repairs, you can see where the panels have been put together. And then if you zoom out a little bit, on the right hand side there's a little button that says text. So if you click on that, it will pop up with the text. So the tapestry's got text all the way along the top of it. It's all in Latin, so if you want to know what it says, this little text button will tell you. And at the top you can choose what it shows you. So it can show you Latin, it can show you the translation in English and the translation in French, so you can tick whichever one of those you want to see. I'm just going to turn off the French one. So it will tell you what the Latin is on the actual embroidery and then what the translation is in English, so you can see what the words mean as well. So you can have a really good look around that. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can see what the text says, you can jump to the chapter points as well. Absolutely fantastic resource. You can get really up close and personal, nearly as good as seeing the actual thing. So I mentioned then that there is another Bayeux Tapestry. Did you know there was another one? So it's a copy of one, much more recent copy, and that is in the Reading Museum. So you can see that on the Reading Museum website. So this is in the UK, and this was a copy that a group of ladies made. They were actually in Derbyshire when they made this, and it's now housed in Reading. So they're not made and housed in the same place, but it was a group of ladies who worked on it, and they made a copy of the entire thing, and it goes all the way around the museum. So it's really amazing to look at. You can get right up close to it. It's a pretty good copy of it, but you can see that online as well. So if you go to www.readingmuseum.org.uk, you can go and have a look at that one, and then across the top there's a little button on that home screen that says collections, and on the right it says Britain's Bayeux Tapestry, and then it tells you a little bit about the tapestry there. You can scroll down and read about how this tapestry was made and who made this one. And then this one is split up into images rather than that whole long one that you have got on the French one. But you can just click on each image and see each scene, and you can zoom in on that one as well. So let's just go to scene 1. Tells you what it's about. Edward and Harold at Westminster, followed by Harold heading for Beauchamp. And there's the whole panel in front of you. You can zoom in on it, so you can click on it and zoom in on it. You can't zoom in as much on this one as you can on the actual original Bayeux Tapestry online. But you can get a little bit closer and you can move around it and you can have a look. So that one's a really interesting one as well. There is a main difference between the Reading Tapestry and the Bayeux Tapestry in the copy. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You might know, but have a look and see if you can see what the main difference is. They worked from a set of photographs that were in the Victoria and Albert Museum, which was then Kensington, South Kensington Museum. And there's something left off the photographs that they used of some drawings that have been done, so see if you can spot what that is and see what the difference is. So that one's well worth a look as well. You can again see the whole tapestry on there and just see a different version of it. Okay, so we can't talk about online collections and not talk about the Victoria and Albert Museum, as I have just mentioned. So if you go www.vam.ac.uk, you will get to the Victoria and Albert Museum homepage, and then if you go along the top, just behind the Cartier diamonds, as I do, it might have changed by the time you look at this, but along the top there's a little tab in the middle that says collections. So if you just click on that, and then you can explore the collections now. It says 1.25 million objects. That's quite a lot of objects. So let's narrow it down a little bit. We're an embroidery channel, so let's look at embroidery. So I'm just going to type embroidery in that search box there. And that's narrowed it down to about 20,000 objects. So that's still quite a lot. So let's narrow it down a little bit more. going to search for chenille embroidery. I've done a bit of chenille embroidery recently, and if you saw that video on my beautiful panels that I've got with the chenille on it, you will have seen that I used this resource to make a design for you for that video. So I'm going to use chenille embroidery because I know I've looked at that already. So if I type chenille embroidery in there and just search, it comes up with about 166 objects I've got at the time that I'm looking at it. So we can have a little look at one of those. I'm just going to pick the first one and I'm just going to click on it. And then that brings me up lots of information about that actual piece. So it tells me roughly when it was made, if they know that, who made it, if they know that, where it was made. There's some details about the object if you just scroll down that information there, category they've put it in, the materials and techniques used in it, brief description, a physical description, it says how big it is. There's loads of information on these collections in the V&A. It really is a super resource to look at. Scroll all the way down there, and then we've got the images. So if I just jump to the images, if I just click on the image, it comes up a little bit bigger, and then along the bottom you can see if there are more images. It will show you there are more. There are 2 on this one. And what's really great about online collections is with this one especially, you can see the front and the back. So if you went to the museum to look at this, obviously it's in a case or it's hung up somewhere, you can only see the front. Here we can see the front and the back, so I can actually click on the second image and it will show me the back of the work as well. So you really can get up close and personal with these. And these ones on this collection as well, we can zoom in super close on them. So I'm zooming in on the back now. I can get really close in that, see lots of details. I can move it around the screen so I can look at different parts of it. You can actually see sign of some drawing as well on the back there in the centre. So you can get really up close and personal. It's absolutely wonderful. And then if you notice on the bottom left, when I'm in the actual pictures, there's a button that says download the image. You can download these to use. There are restrictions on what you can use them for. It will come up with a list of those. So do make sure you read that and you do follow that so that we can all enjoy these beautiful objects. So you can download it if you want to. And there's another thing that you can do as well. So I'm just going to come out of the image by clicking the little cross. You'll notice in the middle of the screen at the bottom it says order an object. So the V&A has a new site now, it's V&A East I think it's called, and you can actually go to this building and you can order these objects and they'll get them out of the collection for you, and you can look at the real things, which is absolutely incredible. I've not had the opportunity to try it yet, so I hope I can do that. So some of these objects will actually say if it can be ordered. So if you look in the top right here of the description, it says order this object. So it will say on the screen if you can order that actual one. You can click that. You can order up to 5 or 6 I think it is, and you can go along and you can arrange a date and you can go and look at them. So if it is available for viewing, it will say there that you can order it as well. So do look out for that on these collections. Hello. So I'm just giving you a quick look through these collections. You can obviously spend as long as you like searching. I just want to show you how to get in them and what kind of things they've got on them, and you can have a lot of fun rooting around on there. So I'm just going to jump to the Embroiderers Guild collection now. So this is embroiderersguild.com, nice and simple website address. Now, not very technical this one really, but if you just go to the collection and go to about the collection, so you'll find that along the top there. Then if you scroll down, it gives you a bit of a history of the collection, tells you about some of the pieces, and if you go right to the bottom, there's a little book here. Now, I think what I understand from this is there's several of these ebooks. They're calling ebook series, the story of the Embroiderers Guild collection, part 1, 2 and 3, and at the bottom it says part 1. So it's giving you a little taster of what is in there. It's quite a good taster, it has to be said, and we'll click on that in a second. But I think if you are an actual member of the guild, you get access to the other ones as well, and you can see those online as well. So you get a little bit more if you're a member on this one, which is my understanding of it. But let's just click on this little book at the bottom, the story of the Embroiderers Guild collection part 1. If you click full screen there, you can have that in image filling up the screen that you're looking at, and then you can just click through that and it opens like a little electronic book, so you can actually read it like a book. So it gives you the story of the collection, previous homes of the collection, so it tells you where it has been housed, the smallest collection item, which I think is quite fun, to the largest collection item, oldest collection item, latest collection items. Then it jumps into British embroidery, 16th to the 21st century. That covers quite a lot of embroidery. So a really cute little resource there to have a look and get a little glimpse at what else they have got in their collection. So if you go back to the collection main page there at the top of the screen, and you can see collection folios. So you used to be able to look up some items that you want and you could hire them out like a little library, and you could use those for teaching purposes. That's not currently working at the moment for various reasons. It does explain it on the website. So at the minute you've only really got that collection book to look at, but it has got some really wonderful embroideries in there. I've been lucky enough to see the collection in real life, see some pieces from it, and it is amazing. So do have a look at that one for some really fantastic historic embroideries. So we're going to jump now to the Ashmolean in Oxford, so another university town. So this is a fantastic museum in Oxford, www.ashmolean.org. And then again, if you just go to collections across the top, now it gives you quite a lot of options here: collection highlights, collections online, using the collections. So let's go to collections online. And again, we can just search it. So we'll just put embroidery in. Comes up with over 1,000 items of embroidery. Now you can see here some of them don't have images, so there's a little grey screen with a cross through the camera, so no image available for all of these ones, but it's quite good so you can see what has got an image and what hasn't. And I'm just going to scroll down a bit, and then we're going to click this little unfinished embroidery panel on the first page. Really interested in seeing these. It's interesting to see the processes that go into it. You can see that when they haven't been finished. And again, you can zoom in on this one. It's a little zoom in plus button. You can make it full screen as well. You can click the full page button. And you can move it around the screen and have a nice close look at that one as well. So it gives you a little bit of information under the image about what it is, if they know where it was made, they know when it was made, the type of object it is, how big it is. So some useful information there. There's a little bit of further reading as well if you want to know more about that. And again, you can use the images for your own purposes as license or buy an image. So just click on that if you're interested in downloading it and using it for further study. So we're going to go to the National Trust Collections now. So this is actually a website in its own right. So www.nationaltrustcollections.org.uk. So this goes straight to the collections. It's over 1 million items in this. So you're going to be a while. Make yourself comfortable. So again, I've just put embroidery in because they do have other things in the National Trust, not just embroidery. So I'm going to type embroidery in that search box at the top. And it comes up with some wonderful images there, and you can just scroll down through the images. If there's something that takes your fancy, you could focus in on your search if you wanted to look for a specific thing. I'm just going to scroll down and see what there is. So we're going to pick this nice flower one here from Brockhampton Estate in Herefordshire. So let's just click on the image. And it gives me the category, the date they don't know, materials, textile, and the measurements. So not so much information on this one. You can order the image again for your personal use, a bit of a summary at the bottom and other things you might be interested in. So not quite as much information, but you can just have a good route around. Pictures aren't so great either. You can click on it just to enlarge it, but there doesn't seem to be any function to zoom in on it at all. So it is just the picture that is there on the screen. There is over 1 million items though, so have fun having a route around that and seeing if you can find something really exciting. Right, let's go to the Royal School of Needlework collection. So they've just started putting this online. I did my training there, so I had lots of chances to look in the collections, really amazing collections, and they're starting to put it online, which is brilliant, so they can share it with everybody. You've got to dig around the website to find this one a little bit. So if you go royal-needlework.org.uk, and then if you go to the menu on the right hand side, there's 3 little bars. There's a drop down menu. And then if you go to RSN Collection and Archive, and then you can go view the collection online. And they've actually split this up. So newly added objects, the first 100 objects. So these are the first 100 that they actually put on the internet. But I'm going to go to Around the World Embroidery, as we're about to do around the world. in embroidery. So I'm just going to click on that image there and you get lots of images of the embroidery. There's some pretty weird stuff on there. So it's nice to see something a little bit different actually. There's a lot of traditional English embroidery on a lot of these websites because I'm looking at UK websites, so it's nice to see something a little bit different. I'm going to go right down to near the bottom and click this little panel with the peacock on it, late 19th to early 20th century. There's a reason I'm picking this one, it's because I've actually seen it and I've studied it quite a bit on my apprenticeship at the Royal School of Needlework, and it was one of my favourite items. So it was quite nice to see it online, to be able to see it again. So it gives you a nice picture of it there. You can zoom in and out on that one. You can have a little bit of a closer look. It tells you when it was made, where they think it was made, a bit of a description about it as well. And again, the dimensions, materials it was made out of. And it's even got a link, which is, this is really good because none of the other sites that we've looked at do this. So to the stitches that are used, got their RSN Stitch Bank, which is a big resource for different embroidery stitches, and they link the stitches that are in this piece to the stitch bank. So if you really wanted to learn a lot about this, you can actually go and try the stitches out that are in the actual piece. So that's pretty awesome. And the same with the techniques as well, different motifs. So there's a lot of information on there and some really useful links. There's some other images as well that you can click on to look at. If there's more than one image, they'll put that up as well. So a pretty good resource that if you want to have a go at stitching these things yourself. Now I have to mention the Gawthorpe Textiles collection. I haven't seen it yet. It's not that far away from me, relatively speaking, so that's a bit shameful really. I need to get up and see it. So it's an amazing collection of textiles in Lancashire in the UK. But luckily they have some online, so we can go and have a look at them. So if you go www.gawthorpetextiles.org.uk, some of them got interesting spelling, so do check in the description below this video for how you actually spell these and for the links to these websites. And then if I go across the top and I go to About, in the About section there is a little bit that says Collections. Click on that. Tells you all about the collection and what it is, and then across the bottom there's a collection gallery which will actually open up in Tumblr, so the images are on Tumblr and there's lots of images of things from the collection. Absolutely incredible stuff in there, so this one is well worth a look. I'm going to click on this nice green bag here, so it tells you a lot about it there, some different images of it. And you can click on those images to have a little zoom in. No zoom function on it, but if you click on the images, they do open up a little bit bigger. So really good one to have a little root around and see what's on there. The last one I'm going to finish with, we're going to hop over the pond, as we say here, to the USA and look at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So I mentioned at the beginning, if you've got something that you know of online that's relevant to where you live, do let us know in the comments below. Let's expand this this resource of online resources. So do let us know what they are. So let's have a little look at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So along the top, we're going to go to Art, and then we go to the Met Collection. And if you scroll down, you can search the collection there. So again, I'm just going to put in embroidery. Now bring up anything that's got some embroidery on it. So we've got a bit of furniture in there, some candle sconces, quite a lot of furniture. We've got quite a lot of tapestries as well in there. So I'm just going to scroll down to the little nightcap. Happens to be British. We've gone all the way to an American one. Museum to see something British, but you can see the principle there. So I can click on that. There's some other images available that I can click on. Tells me it's not on view, so you can't see it if you go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, but you can see it if you look online. So incredible that we can see all these things we can't actually see if we go to the place where they are. It tells you a little bit about below, the dimensions, what's classified as, and some related works at the bottom. So if you find something interested in, it will link you to other things, and you can find some other stuff that you didn't know you were interested in. You can find your way like that. So that's 10 individual resources online that you can go and look at if you are interested in embroidery and everything embroidery related. They are stunning resources. You will be there a while, so go make yourself a cuppa put your feet up and get comfy, because once you go down the rabbit hole, you don't know what you're going to find. So I hope you find that useful and interesting to go and look at those. The links are in the description below this video. We'll make a page on the website and put them on there, so do add your contributions as well if you know something that I haven't covered yet, and we'll make this really amazing resources of online resources. So that's it for this little chit chat. Thank you for watching along with me. Hope you're inspired to go and have a look at all those beautiful embroideries. And don't forget to show us your beautiful embroidery as well. Join in our Stitching Around the World for World Embroidery Day video. If you want to know all about that, you can check out this video up here. Lots of information there, how to get involved, how to join in and where to send your videos. We look forward to seeing them all. Can't wait to see those. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.